Back in our Jan Crawford, our chief legal correspondent. I know you're still pouring through this decision.
I want to get to some of the dissents. Obviously, and keep in mind kind of where we are, the landscape here. 5 justices, takes 5 justices to form a majority on the court. That's what we have today. The 5th vote was our newest justice, Amy Coney Barrett, who replaced, of course, the late Justice Ruth Bader Ginsburg. That is decisive,
yeah,
right?
She was a fierce defender of women's rights and women's abortion rights.
And if she were still on the court, or someone who had replaced her who had a liberal perspective, the court would not have overturned Roe or Casey. But we have some powerful dissents from the 3 remaining liberals, all joined Justice Breyer, Sotomayor, and Kagan. And there is a joint dissent, not written by one with others joining. It's a joint dissent, meaning they all agree with this. And they emphasize throughout the dissent really what they see the court is doing here. And if I could just read from page 2, right at the top. The court's ruling, the liberals say, says that from the very moment of fertilization, a woman has no rights to speak of. A state can force her to bring a pregnancy to term, even at the steepest personal and familial cost. An abortion restriction is permissible. And it then goes on to predict states will feel free to enact all manner of restrictions, saying that we've already seen it. Going on to predict that there will be many more to come. And then on page 4, the dissent, the joint dissent says, whatever the exact scope of the coming laws, one result of today's decision is certain: the curtailment of women's rights and of their status as free and equal citizens. Yesterday, the Constitution guaranteed a woman confronted with an unplanned pregnancy could make her own decision. But today, that is no longer.
And that is why I think it was such an important question you asked during that March for Life interview of what tools are being provided to women to go through the very dangerous process of actually delivering a child. That's what the maternal mortality numbers mean. That means it is a risk to your life to carry a child to term, more so in this country than other developed countries in the world. What becomes the policy response at the state and the federal level to that? What becomes the policy response to the children who are born into poverty in these states to women who would have otherwise aborted? Because it puts even more of a burden back on those governments and on those taxpayers to provide potentially. What is our policy response there? I mean, that's kind of where I see another part of this argument going that impacts not just women, but families across the board in this country.
You raised an important point earlier when you said, what could the federal government do, suggesting that perhaps they can pass legislation to give more support for child care, more time off, enhance maternal health programs. There's also going to be a lot of questions about what President Biden can do. For example, can he do anything through executive order to make medical abortion more available through the mail and have the FDA do something like that?